Welcome everybody to Be Kind and Rewind with Ruckus, the show where we invite pro wrestlers, athletes, actors, actresses, musicians, and notable personalities on to talk all things retro. Joining me is my co-host, Keeping It Will, and joining us this week, very special guest, CHRISTI Jaynes. CHRISTI, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I'm great. Will is not happy that he's been faced with reality.
Nope,
that he
not at all.
is my assistant.
No, our editor's got the beat button ready to go. I'm gonna behave from here on out, though. I'm just gonna ignore you. We'll keep going.
That's okay. Everyone needs a sidekick. Look at Batman and Robin. Robin
Trusty
finally
sidekick.
got his own show and a cartoon. Okay, and he was the leader in that whole gang. So I'm
Is
just saying.
is that your end game, Keeping It Will?
What is that? They become Robin?
Yeah.
They become the leader?
Yeah.
I think we both know what happens off stream. I think we both know who the leader is of this group, but I digest. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, it's me. So
CHRISTI, he says assistant, and I say this every show, one of us actually has an assistant that works for them on this show.
Me, it's
and
him.
one of us
him.
likes to play like they're important. So I mean, I think we'll just let the world figure that out. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on. This is super exciting.
Reality Bites.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, fights.
Guys, CHRISTI has chosen a very special movie that I remember specifically, and I went back and watched today and had some memories unlocked, had a good time checking it out. That is Red Sonja, starring Brigitte Nielsen, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Brigitte Nielsen of Rocky IV fame, which came shortly after. And I've got a little
love.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of oh geez. Don't even get me started on the Flavor of Love.
Wow.
Foo-fee-foo,
Wow.
right? I was thinking about that
here's
today.
Red Sonja.
Yes, Red Sonja. And we've got some special table reads this week as well. We're going to be doing Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which this is one of Keeping It Will's dream scenes. He has practiced this scene in the mirror for the last 7 years, waiting for this day.
Minimal. 7
Minimal.
years. Oh.
And Mrs. Doubtfire. So we're going to put CHRISTI through the ringer, but I think she's going to be absolutely amazing.
As always, we go through the movie of Red Sonja. So every week we take a look into a guest and their favorite movie and what they want to watch, right? And we've had some pretty interesting movies. Now, this one I thought was pretty fascinating. It came out in 1985, and it starred Brigitte Nielsen, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it was supposed to be a movie just solely about Red Sonja, but they tricked Arnold into playing in this movie. He thought it was a cameo, but it actually ended up being a co-starring gig, and he was supposed to be on set for 4 days, ended up being 4 weeks. And he actually thought it was going to kill his career at first, but it turned out to be a pretty popular movie. And it was like the female version of Conan, if you want to look at it through that lens. So I'm really excited about that we're doing this movie because it brought back some great thoughts as a child. And even if you look at the poster, you see where Arnold's much bigger than Brigitte Nielsen was because they were really trying to cash in on that. But for that, CHRISTI, what was the process and thought process when you chose Red Sonja?
I don't really think I didn't think about it. You guys just said my favorite movie of all time, and I was like, oh, Red Sonja, that's easy. When I came to America, I used to watch wrestling on the TV. I used to sneak in to the main house. So we lived in like this pool house, me, my mom, my grandma, my 4 brothers and sisters. And I used to sneak into the main house to watch TV. And that's where my love from wrestling came. I would watch like the little clacker. Yeah, they were old. They had the little clacker. And I would watch wrestling on there. And I'd always see the guys and they were larger than life. And they, the emotions and everything that came through. Well, there was this girl. And she was like, oh, you like wrestling? You would love this movie. And I didn't really understand English still at this point. And she put on Red Sonja. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's a wrestler. She is not a wrestler. But I was it was the same like vibes it gave me, right? So I actually knew who Red Sonja was before I knew who Wonder Woman was, and before I was ever introduced to China. And so when I would watch it, I was like, wow, here is this beautiful, sexy, yet very feminine woman just, cashing checks and taking names and kicking ass. I was like, yeah, it was like so empowering. It was awesome. And like, I have watched it over the years and I've showed it to a bunch of my friends. The acting is dreadful, but it was so great. And I guess at the time I didn't put two and two together. But even though Arnold Schwarzenegger's name is not Conan in it, right? He is essentially playing the same character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, as I got older, I saw that. Also, as I got older, I saw the very political meaning in it, right? The whole feminist and the whole patriarchy in it. If you guys notice, the bad guys that they always fight is the man in it, right? They're the ones that broke into the temple, and it's a temple full of women. And then the talisman is like a great big ball, which is really weird because like if you look at scientific videos about like women when they drop an egg, right, to be like fertilized and stuff, it looks like this talisman. It's weird. Yeah, it's so weird. So
I never put that together. That's amazing.
Yeah. Like, but then what she says in it, it's like this controls mankind. It can make the world or it can destroy the world, right? And it's like, but only women have it. Only women can touch it. I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, especially, so I did watch it 2 days ago again. And especially after watching the Barbie movie, I was like, this came out in 85 and we were already like pushing politics. But like as a kid, I didn't realize that, right? But like, so the whole thing was like, wow. So when you guys said favorite movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to hate it. They're going to bag on the acting. They're going to, all this other stuff. I'm like, but it essentially gave birth to CHRISTI Jaynes, like growing up and like, no, women can do this. Like women, can be, and I am not a feminist, you guys, but it was just very much like, I can take care of myself, like it's nice to have someone too, but it's also nice to see women out there saying, hey, women can fight, women can be feminine, women, can do all of that too. And in fact, just so you know, so after watching her, I got huge into comic books. Oh. And like so big into it. Another one of my inspirations.
Will is extremely excited at the moment.
Yeah, okay. So my other inspirations, I love comic books. So my original CHRISTI Jaynes started out as comic book girl, right? She wore the nerdy glasses, all of that. The glasses would come off. She would fumble it up in the ring. Glasses would come off. She would turn into the Brazilian Wonder Woman, right? And she'd like kick ass. I don't know if I can swear on this. But
yeah, it's all good.
Okay. So, I am a huge collector of this, and after I found out that there were other femme fatales out there, the other girl I got super into, actually I should probably show, perfect, this one's probably one of her most well-known covers, is Lady Death.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
I have just about every single one. I have the first edition and the second edition. I paid over $500 for them. I am a huge Lady Death fan. She was another one. So her story, if you look at Red Sonja's story, right, how it started, this woman kills all she had. The men kill her whole family, Sonya's family, and then they violated her, right? Lady Death, the same thing happened. They killed her whole family. Her father is Satan. I don't know if people read Lady Death, but I'm just going to that. Her father turns into Satan, or happens to be Satan. He kills her mother. He brings her into the underworld. He lets people violate her. She goes and trains just like Red Sonja did, right? And she's like kicking ass and stuff. And so, and she's sexy. She's feminine. And at the same time, she whoops butt, right?
Badass.
So, yeah, I have like, you like this? I have all my little people are like, she's crazy. I am. I'm nuts. So like I have every single one of like my Lady Death comic books. These are just a few of them. I have like a crate full of them. And my friends know I love her so much.
Whoa.
Oh. Her, right? So anyway, there you go. But yeah, so when you guys asked me about my favorite movie, I was like, that's easy. Red Sonja. Like, she's so empowering. And then at the end of the movie, her and Arnold end up falling in love. And, you know, so it's just kind of like this whole beautiful thing where, you know, you can be that woman, that strong, independent woman, and then still have somebody there for you. I guess it's the fairy tale story, right? But not the Disney fairy tale story that we all know.
It's a little bit of a rated R story. So a couple of fun facts. I think that's a great explanation. Was that we talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger and that role being a Conan. So originally it was supposed to be Conan in the movie, right? And they had to change because they didn't have the rights to it. But Red Sonja did appear in the Conan comics. So what the fans did was an explanation endorsed by fans. It was that it was Conan's name. Well, Arnold's name in this movie, Collider, was actually one of his traveling names, as many mythical gods have multiple names depending on where they go. So while it's not technically legally Conan, it really is like Conan, right?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I thought that was a pretty neat thing. Now, Ruckus, what did you think about rewatching this movie?
So I have to say, I got a kick out of the enemies in the forest who came jumping. They're like, this is supposed to be set in ancient times, and they come out with blue jeans. They got like jeans on and
They're wearing dungarees.
We got zip lines and robotic dragons. But there's a lot of different memories that were unlocked that I had from when I was a kid, and I remember watching this, and I remember Conan was the big thing, and this was just before She-Ra hit TV. Mm-hmm. So this came out, then She-Ra came out, and then Rocky IV came out. So at like the following year, I think it was and later that year, like November, December. So as a kid, I remember Brigitte Nielsen being a complete badass and having a crush on this redheaded warrior woman. Ernie Reyes is the little kid. I remember him. I remember how much charisma he had in his fighting scenes. And then I remember the TV show he did after that called Sidekicks. He went on to do stuff for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that. But as an adult, going back and looking, like, I know the movie didn't do a whole lot, like, financially at the box office, but I felt like if the studio had just waited until after She-Ra came out and after Rocky IV came out, they would have cashed in. They would have cashed in because the mainstream eyes that saw Brigitte Nielsen and Rocky IV would have gone to Red Sonja.
Well, so if you think about it, she had back-to-back movies with Arnold and Sylvester, two of the biggest action heroes in the 80s, right? One of the problems that she had was that she was very hard to work with on the set, right? Like, the director's like, no. Even though her and Arnold were actually... were
they a thing?
Their two moons came together.
Bodybuilding buddies.
Yeah, their two moons came together, okay?
They were soulmates.
Yeah, they were swole mates.
Soulmates.
So that is great. But you know, the really, and I say the reason I bring this up is because I think that she just started developing a bad thing, a bad habit of just people not wanting to work with her. But an interesting point, and Christy, I don't know if you know this or not, and you might be upset when you hear this, right? You might be mad. You might be mad at Jason Momoa over this, okay? So in 2009, Robert Rodriguez, a great director, had Red Sonja in pre-production to do a remake with Rose McGowan. And that's when they re-released Conan with Jason Momoa, and Conan tanked. Like, it was like dog tank, right?
Wow.
And it was so bad that they said, nope, we are not doing it. They both, Robert Rodriguez and Rose McGowan, both pulled out of the movie. And it's still in pre-production, but it's just no one's going to make it at this point.
Yeah.
Who would you cast as a new Red
I
Sonja?
know, I was going to ask you guys that same question.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Who would I cast for it? Who has that likable, like, feminine, but yet not overpowering, like I hate all men, right? Smell to them right now.
So we come out of Red Sonja, right? I think it's been great bringing that movie and talking back about it. But Christy, what we do is after we talk about a movie, we talk about the songs that were big that year. Now, I would never, ever ask a lady her age, right? Which I'm not going to do now. But these songs will be in 1985, right? This will be the top 10 the week of July 6, 1985, all right? So the goal is I'm going to tell you the song and who sang it, and you and Ruckus have to sing the song if you know it, okay? Are you ready for this?
Not at all, but let's go.
So I'll give you the chance to sing first, and if I join in with you, you'll hear a delay. Don't worry about the delay because it'll come in. It'll sound like we're together on the broadcast itself. If you don't, then I'll jump in.
Sketchy. I can't even look up the words to these.
Wait, no, you're not supposed
You can't look. You can't look.
Yeah,
I haven't looked either. I have no idea what's going to happen.
You got
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Straight
going
from
in,
memory.
all right. And I don't sing these because, unfortunately, I have a voice of an angel, and I get paid, and I'm contracted not to be able to sing. Only on, yeah. So all right, number 10.
I digress.
Number 10, "Angel" by Madonna. I don't remember that one neither.
I don't remember.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna skip past number 10. Number 9. You both know this. I feel good about this. Number 9. Till Tuesday, Voices Carry.
Oh, shout. Let's keep it down now. Voices carry.
He said, "Shut up."
He said, "Shut up." Oh, God.
That is correct. That is correct. All right. Now, Christy, did you know that song?
No.
We're gonna send it to you through Spotify, okay? We're gonna send this playlist to you.
Such
okay?
a great song. That's a good
This will
song.
be your new playlist, all right?
Okay.
Number 8. I love. I'm laughing because the song is great. Number 8, "Every Time You Go Away" by Paul Young.
Every time you go away.
Away.
There you go.
Take a little piece of me.
It's close. It's close. I like
That's
it.
perfect. Ruckus, can you tell me who else covered that song?
Nope.
Hall & Oates. So
Really?
Number 7. You Google it. Number 7. "You Give Good Love." You give some of that good love by Whitney Houston.
You give good love to me, baby.
Was Christy, in your defense, it was not a big hit at all. It was
Never
average.
heard of it.
You give
Yeah,
good love to
That was off her
me.
debut album, Whitney, in 1985 is when she first started coming a pop star.
Yep.
All right, number 6. The Eurythmics. Now, Christy, do you know the band The Eurythmics?
Yes.
Okay, number 6, the Eurythmics. Would I Lie to You?
Oh, I don't think I know that.
Would I
song.
lie to you? Oh, yeah. Would I lie to you? Oh, no, no, no. Now would I say something that wasn't true? I'm asking you, sugar, would I lie to you?
He looked these up. You know what he did?
No, I
did
don't.
not.
1985 song.
I promise.
He was 27 in 1985.
No, I wasn't.
That's why he knows all.
I was
these.
26 in that news.
He had a full beard and a moped driving to 7-Eleven when these songs were out.
At 12 years old.
All right. Okay, now we're getting into a couple of power ballads. All right. Number 5, the song that was on every 6th grade mixtape in 1985.
Oh, shit.
The Search Is Over by Survivor.
What?
The Search Is Over. You know this one. The Search Is Over by Survivor. The search is over. You were with me all along.
I
No.
don't know that one.
All right. That was it was a massive hit.
That was on your mixtape.
Yeah, what? I said that. I literally just said
You
that.
said everyone's mixtape.
Amanda from 6th grade, I miss you, boo. Okay? Taking my tape back, all right?
I
So
get my seatbelt.
number 4. Where's my Memorex, damn it? Number 4. This was another massive hit. And Christy, I know you're going to know this one, right? All right, you ready? It was by Bryan Adams. Are you familiar with who that is?
I know who he is.
Okay. The song was Heaven by Bryan Adams. It was a couple skate dream song. Heaven.
All right, let me hear it.
No, you know this
I
one.
know you know it. I don't know it.
Wait, you know it.
I don't remember it. You got to refresh my memory.
It's Baby, You're All That
I need.
When you lie
You're lying here in my arms. There you go.
Right?
Yes.
Hard to believe.
We're in
We're in
heaven. Oh my God.
That is great. That is great. All right, number 3. I'm a huge Prince fan, right? Huge Prince fan. It's one of my favorite Prince songs. It's Raspberry Beret by Prince and the Revolution.
Oh, hold on. It goes. I guess I should have known by the way you parked your... Is that right?
That's Little Red Corvette. You're just
Yeah.
Prince.
Almost,
You're Prince.
almost.
You're there. So Ruckus, won't you start it? As soon as Ruckus starts it, you will know it, though.
Was working part-time and a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. McGee. He didn't...
Told me several times
that he didn't like my
style.
kind. It's always been too leisurely.
Seems I was busy.
Seems I was busy doing something close to nothing, but different than the day before. Dun, dun. That's when I saw her. Ooh, I saw her. She walked in through the outdoor. She wore a raspberry beret. Dun, dun, time.
Find out a second-hand
store. Hey!
Raspberry Beret.
Hey!
No, but Little Red Corvette is like my favorite Prince song ever. That's why I know like
it's a great song. And well, I think any Prince song is a great song. So, and I got a question for you as soon as we're done with this, right? So number 2, A View to a Kill by Duran Duran. It was a big hit for a small window. It was a James Bond. It was for a James Bond movie soundtrack.
And we dance into the fire. The fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into
All right, she
the
said,
fire.
nope, not even trying it. All right, number
Duran
1.
Duran was my shit, bro.
1985. The album was No Jackets Required. It was a massive album in 1985. It was Phil Collins with his hit Studio. You know,
say the word.
Studio.
Oh, Studio. Dun, 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 dun. Just say the word.
All right. So,
I failed completely.
we don't think you failed. All right, 1985. We have a couple movies that came out. We have The Color Purple. We have Back to the Future. Music, they released We Are the World, which was a massive
I remember
hit.
that.
Oh, is that the Michael Jackson?
Yeah, with
Yes.
everybody together. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of We Are the World, it was also the year that Michael Jackson really screwed over his friend Paul McCartney because he went and bought his library.
all the Beatles library.
Beatles
I remember
library.
that.
Right, because he told him, the greatest thing to do right now is to go and buy music. And he took his advice and bought all
But his music, yes.
right.
So we also had Live Aid concert, which was in 3 different countries in support of famine relief for Ethiopia. Yep. Massive hit as well. We also, the first mobile phone call was placed in the United Kingdom.
Oh.
The entertainment system, the Nintendo Entertainment System came out, which also delivered us Super Mario Brothers. We started blood testing for AIDS, and domain names.coms were just starting to come out, which is weird because we wouldn't even really know about those for another, the general public for another 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, when did the .com crash happen?
The .com crash happened in the early 2000s, but the people started buying actual .com domains in 1984.
I remember hearing about the internet the first time in 1990.
And
My favorite thing was the
dial-up.
The dial-up. The first ever domain name was nordu.net. NORDU.net. I didn't know that. That's the first ever domain name. Nordu.net.
Is it still around?
Let's Google it. Let's see here. Let's see what
I'm scared.
Let's see what Nordu.net
Right.
brings us. I swear to God, if this is a porn site, I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh, it just says build your website, come back soon, see what's like, find your own domain. It's just one of those one.coms where they own all these different ones. That would be a neat one to own, though.
Yeah. Do you remember though? You talked about the concert for AIDS. So they played at Wembley.
Yeah.
Actually, and who was it? He was diagnosed with AIDS. And
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
He actually went and performed.
And one of the greatest performances of all time.
Yep.
Radio Goo Goo.
Radio Gaga.
Radio Goo Goo.
Radio
I like
Goo
that
Goo.
name better.
It's Radio Goo Goo. Yes,
He says Radio Goo Goo in there, but you know the name of the song is Gaga.
It's Radio Goo Goo.
It's Radio Will. Look it up.
It's Radio. I'm going to be nice. We have company. Okay, we'll keep going. So that concludes the front part of this, which brings us to why we're all here, Ruckus.
Yes, the Wacky Table Reads. Guys, if you've been following us for the last year or so, you know that Wacky Table Reads is one of our favorite segments of the show. We have our guests choose scenes from some of their favorite movies, and we do complete cold scene reads from them. So I will preface this by saying that Christy got these scripts yesterday.
Which one are we starting with?
We're going to start with Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Can I prep? I got to prep.
What kind of prep? I mean, she got the King Arthur. I say props are allowed.
Props are allowed. They're actually welcome. King Arthur had a coolie cup.
All right.
Hold on.
With the speaker.
Oh shit!
I need my Knights of the Round
The Knights of the Round Table.
For those of you that are listening to this, she's got Pokemon and
Pokemon stuffed animals as her Knights of the Round Table.
Knights of the Round Table. All right, wait, I think we're ready. Wait, that's a lot of pillows.
They are not pillows. They are not called stuffed animals, sir, because we are adults. They are called plushes.
Plush toys. That's right.
There you go.
Right. That's yes.
They're figurines. We do not call them toys because we are adults.
Soft figurines.
I understand. I have collective action figures behind me. They're not toys. I get it.
If you can keep that balanced for the whole thing, that's going to be awesome.
Try.
Don't move.
So the first scene that we have up is from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This is Will's dream scene.
It is.
And I actually originally told Will that he wasn't going to be allowed to play the castle guard.
And I was pissed.
He said, if anything, he's like, I've been wanting to play the castle guard, the French guard, my entire life. You know, he was all sorts of happy and crying, happy tears.
I was in a pretty big meeting, right? We're talking about opening like $1 million worth of restaurants. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I completely forgot what was going on for the rest of that meeting. I had no idea. I think I signed up for like 5 restaurants at like $6 million a piece. So we'll see what happens.
So let's set the scene here. So I will be narrating and playing the role of Galahad. Mm-hmm. The castle guard that King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table come upon will be played by Keeping It Will, and King Arthur will be played by CHRISTI Jaynes.
And please, will you give credit to my Knights of the Round Table?
Do they have names?
Playing the Knights of the Round Table are...
That's their names.
Pikachu and... I don't know the other
Pikachus? Yeah.
No, it's one Pikachu.
One Pikachu.
The other one is the fox. I don't know the fox's name.
And then the pink thing behind you?
It's a Squishmallow.
Squishmallow? All right.
Another Squishmallow.
A kitty cat. Got it. All right. I'm ready. You ready to do this?
But whatever.
It's a wrap. I'm sorry. It's a wrap.
As we try to refocus. There we go.
Full focus.
There you go.
It was so big. It pulled the focus off of me. Okay.
All right. So playing the roles of the Knights of the Round Table are Pikachu, Plushie, and 2 Squishmallows. That's how we do it.
let's do this.
All right, here we go. Okay. And King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table are just embarking on their quest of in search of the Holy Grail, and they come upon this castle, and there's a nice little interaction between the castle guard and King Arthur. Anything in yellow highlights is narration. Anything in green is an action or a sound effect that will be put in post.
Love that. I printed this off in black and white.
Anything in quotations?
Yeah, you'll see the brackets is an action.
Anything in brackets is an action.
Effect.
Anything that says narrator, Mikey will actually say out loud.
Yeah,
okay.
He'll actually read narrator. It's like a third person involved.
Got it.
All right,
excellent.
Here we go. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Keeping It Will. You ready? Yes or no? That's the setup. Let's go.
He's getting in character.
No. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Yes, I'm ready.
What happened?
Somebody just shot a gun outside my house.
Oh. Do we need to take a break for you to go look?
Wow.
I have enough. We're good. Keep going. Keep rolling.
You said you got a Glock right underneath the desk.
Keep going. We're good.
All right. Let's do that again. Keeping It Will, you ready?
Ready.
CHRISTI Jaynes, are you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, scene. Oh, that's me. I'm not usually the narrator, that's why. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table have set off in search of the Holy Grail. They come upon a castle and wish to speak to the master therein.
Halt! Hello!
After a moment, there was no response from anyone coming from the castle. King Arthur hearkens once again.
I said hello!
Hello? Who is it?
It is King Arthur, and these are the Knights of the Round Table. Whose castle is this?
Oh, this is the castle of my master, Great Lombard.
Go and tell your master that we have been charged by God with a sacred quest. If he will give us food and shelter for the night, he can join us in our quest for the Holy Grail.
Well, I'll ask him, but I don't think he'll be very keen. He's already got one, you see.
What?
He says they've already got one.
Are you sure he's got one?
Oh, yes, it's a very nice,
The guard looks over the other guards behind the wall.
I told him where to get one.
Well, can we come up and have a look?
Oi, of course not. You are English types, eh?
What? Well, what are you then?
I am French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
What are you doing in England?
Mind your own business.
Oh, yeah, that's you. King Arthur has a moment of pause and begins to press the guard with a threat.
If you will not show us the Grail, we shall take your castle by force.
Oh, you don't frighten us, English pig dogs. Go and boil your bottoms, sons of a silly person. I blow my nose on you. So-called Arthur King. You and all your silly English connects. Fup.
What a strange person.
Now look here, my good ma.
I don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal fool, trout wiper. I fought in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Is there someone else up there we could talk to?
No. Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time, eh?
No, this is your last chance. I've been more than reasonable.
A chasse lavish.
What?
A chasse lavish.
The guards bring out a cow.
If you do not agree to my commands, then I shall.
Suddenly, with a great thwong, the cow is catapulted over the wall towards the knights.
Right.
The cow lands with a third on Galahad's Porter.
Well, right. Charge!
Charge! And scene! And you kept them in place the entire time.
I had to stop watching the screen. I was like, I'm dying. Oh,
Anyway,
fantastic job.
wonderful.
very, very well done.
How do you feel about that, Will? Now that you've got to play the role of a lifetime?
I feel like I've lived out my life is complete now.
You can retire now, right?
I can retire now. I feel good about that.
Okay, well, you're unretired because we're getting ready to do another scene.
Ah.
That brings us to our final scene. Scene from a very fun movie that I have fond memories of, Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, Mrs. Doubtfire, played by Robin Williams, we'll back the story up a little bit. Robin Williams' character, Daniel, is in a bit of a separation with his wife, Miranda, played by Sally. Why did I just draw a blank on her?
Field.
Sally Field, yeah. Sally Field. He will do anything to have time with his children. So he's decided this whole scheme on dressing up as Mrs. Doubtfire and being the nanny, the nanny for their children. The kids find out along the way, the older ones, and they try to keep it a secret. They're all out to dinner, and Daniel is having to play both sides of trying to have an interview for a job and trying to have dinner with the family at the same time in the same place. One is Daniel, one is Mrs. Doubtfire. So that is that scene. Narrating, playing the role of the restaurant manager, which is only one line, and Stu will be keeping the wheel. Stu, you get to be Pierce Brosnan. How you feel about that?
Pierce Brosnan should be so lucky.
That's a glow up for you, huh?
Wait, what? What does that mean?
A glow up?
Yeah, what does a glow up mean?
Google it. I will be playing the role of Miranda, Sally Field, and Mr. Lundy. And CHRISTI Jaynes with the role of a lifetime. I think this is going to be an all-timer for the BKRR show. She will be playing both Daniel and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes, excuse me while I prep.
All right,
Uh-oh.
prepping herd.
So every time, so every time you sit down as Lundy, that has to come off.
Well, I'm not Lundy.
Oh, not Lundy. Every time you sit down with Lundy, you're Daniel.
All right, let's do this. I'm ready.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. All right, Mrs. Doubtfire. Daniel and Mrs. Doubtfire in the same place at the same time for dinner. Keeping it Will, you ready?
I'm ready.
CHRISTI Jaynes, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, scene.
Daniel's in a bit of a pickle. He has to be both himself and Mrs. Doubtfire at the same time in the same place. He is meeting Mr. Lundy over drinks to discuss a job opportunity. And as Mrs. Doubtfire, going to dinner with Miranda, Stu, and the kids. He decides to make a quick call to the restaurant to hold Mr. Lundy off. Hello, Bridges Restaurant. May I help you?
Yes, my name is Daniel Hillard. Mr. Lundy is expecting me for dinner. Will you tell him I'm running late? I'm caught in traffic, but I'm on my way.
I will deliver the message personally, sir.
Thank you.
Daniel runs to the bathroom and changes in his Doubtfire attire and joins his family at the table. Stu has given Miranda a very expensive necklace.
Oh, Stu.
I hope you like it.
It's gorgeous. Thank you.
Did I miss anything?
Well, yes. Look, this is a gift that Stu gave me for my birthday. Isn't it gorgeous?
Is it real?
It is very real, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, you can either wear that or feed a small country. It's so nice, so decadent.
Natalie gets her mom to take her to the restroom, and Mrs. Doubtfire gets Chris and Lydia to go look at the dessert trays in order to have a few moments alone with Stu at the table, to which she makes him squirm.
That's a pretty impressive bubble you got her.
Oh, thank you.
A
Thank you.
fella gives a gift like that, he wants more than a piece of her heart, eh? Bit of a going down payment, huh?
Excuse me?
You know, dear, sink the sub, hide the weasel, park the porpoise. Bit of the old Humpty Dumpty, little Jack Horny, the horizontal mambo.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
The bone dance, eh? Rumple foreskin, baloney bop. Bit of the old cunning linguistics.
Mrs. Doubtfire, please.
Am I being a little graphic? Oh, I hope you're up for a little competition.
I beg your pardon?
She's got a power tool in the bedroom, dear. It's her personal jackhammer. She uses it and the lights dim. It's like a prison movie. Amazed she hasn't chipped her teeth. I hope you bring cocktail sauce. She's got class. The Dungeness type. And being blunt as a spoon type, forgive me.
Daniel sees Mr. Lundy waiting at a table alone on the other side of the room. He needs to get up and go meet with him.
It's the wine. Oh gosh, be back in a flash. All right, my tiny blatter.
Daniel rushes to the restroom and changes into his normal clothes. He sneaks across the room and meets Mr. Lundy.
Mr. Lundy.
Oh, hi.
Sorry I'm late. Did you get my message?
Yes, sit down, have a drink.
Sure, I'll have what he's having.
Double Chivas on the rocks and bring him 2 doubles so he can catch up.
Woo!
Scotch drinker, huh? That's my kind of guy.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The two men begin pounding back scotches. Daniel, very tipsy.
Ah.
Ah!
Ah.
Ah!
Now, what can you help to do the ratings on the kids' show?
Bottom line, I mean, don't patronize the kids. They're little people. You gotta personalize it, you know? Make it fun. If it's something you'd enjoy, they're gonna enjoy it.
That's what I'm interested in.
Bingo. Well, will you excuse me? For a moment.
Daniel sees his family waiting on him, and he promptly excuses himself from Mr. Lundy's table, runs to the restroom, and changes back in to Mrs. Doubtfire. He staggers his way back over to the family table, completely doused in perfume to mask the alcohol. She attempts to take her seat, and she falls flat on her rear end.
My goodness, I'm so sorry. That's my fault. Excuse me. I'm all right. There we go. You.
Holy shit.
Let's see here. Let's see. Oh. I'll have the poached salmon.
I'll have the jambalaya. Make my night spicy. I'm allergic to pepper. As Mrs. Doubtfire toasts to the family, begins to drink, her false teeth fall into her drink. Who insists on scooping them out with a shake? Mrs. Doubtfire once again excuses herself from the table. Daniel then changes once more and sits down at Mr. Lundy's table.
Where the hell have you been? I order you another scotch.
Boy!
Daniel, are you wearing ladies' perfume?
Yes, I am.
Are you wearing lipstick?
Yeah.
Why?
It rubbed off.
From whom?
A girl I used to date, she's a waitress.
A waitress? Here?
Oh, yeah, on the way to the bathroom. Can't keep her hands off me.
You dog.
You scallywag.
I got to stretch outside. Does your girlfriend have a girlfriend?
Hey, it's the 90s.
No, I mean, does she have a lady friend for me? Go ahead, ask her.
Oh, I'll go ask her. Yeah.
That's a keeping it will line, by the way. In real life. Come on, go get him.
Daniel dresses back up as Mrs. Doubtfire and heads to the main kitchen, where he douses Stu's plate of food in hot cayenne pepper. He then mistakenly goes back to Mr. Lundy's table, fully dressed as Doubtfire.
Can I help you, ma'am?
Sorry I'm late, but after all those scotches, I had to piss like a racehorse.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Why in God's name are you dressed like a woman?
Damn. Well, I'd like you to meet the host of your new show.
Host?
Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear. I specialize in the education and entertainment of children. Surprise.
As Mrs. Doubtfire continues her pitch to Mr. Lundy, she looks across the room and sees that Stu is choking on his food, which is covered in pepper.
Stu?
Oh, no.
Stu,
sorry.
he's choking. He's choking. Help us. Somebody help. He's choking. Help us. Oh, God. Oh, God, he's choking here. Call 911.
Oh, no. I killed the bastard.
Mrs. Doubtfire, help us. He's choking.
Help us. Walk with me, Stu. Walk with me.
Mrs. Doubtfire feverishly performs a Heimlich on Stu, eventually dislodging a shrimp from his throat. In the process, her mask fell halfway off, revealing what the two older children already knew, that Mrs. Doubtfire was indeed Daniel himself. Natalie calls to her dad. Daniel loos over to a completely shocked Miranda.
Happy birthday.
Daniel? Daniel? Oh my God. The whole time?
I'm sorry, Miranda, please.
Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I have to go. We have to leave now. I have to leave. We have to leave now. I have to go. We're going.
Daniel turns to Stu for a quick handshake.
Sorry about the pepper. I was,
Daniel is left with a stunned room of patrons.
What are you looking at, folks? Show's over.
And scene.
But you forgot the most important part that was not in this line, which was actually improvised by Robin Williams and Mr. Lundy. And it was after she introduces herself. Mr. Lundy says, and why is she good? Like, why is she
And the yo-yo make a wicked cup of Coke.
She goes, I'm a hip-old granny who can hip-hop, bebop, dance till you drop, and make you a yo-yo hot cup of Coke.
Uh-oh, we just got a bonus.
Woo! That was fantastic. When you sat back down as drunk Mrs. Doubtfire and hit the floor.
I was done. That was amazing. Bravo. Bravo.
Christy Jaynes, anything you want to let people know? What you're doing these days, where they can find you, anything at all, the floor is yours.
Aw, thank you. So just follow me on all my social media platforms. Super easy. It's Christy Jaynes, Christ, with an I at the end of it, Jaynes, on every single one of my platforms. IG, I guess it's called X now. It's not called Twitter. I'm on Threads. And yeah, I have a TikTok about that. Just that. I'm working with the NWA. I work with AAA if you're down in Mexico. So you can catch me internationally still. I, wrestled for a bunch of different promotions around, like everywhere on the East Coast, down in Texas, all the time.
Amazing.
So are you doing any streaming or do you do anything like on
Yeah, so I stream. I do like a workout stream called Gains with Janes, right? Where I just work out randomly from home. And then I also do like gaming, where you can subscribe to my Twitch channel. Again, it's Christy Jaynes. I try to keep it simple for everyone. And you guys can come subscribe, come join, play, hang out.
what's your favorite game to stream?
World of Warcraft. I am such a nerd. I'm like a D&Der, like big time. Dungeons and Dragons for y'all that don't know the lingo. All good, though. We're good.
Do you ever play Fortnite?
I don't play Fortnite. I'm not a big first-person shooter gamer.
All right.
Yeah, that killed keeping the wheels.
Yeah. Well, Ruckus can't play neither, so it's okay. Well, we do a thing called Coffee and Kills every Sunday morning.
Coffee and Kills, and you guys play Fortnite.
Yeah, we play Fortnite.
I will be part of the Kills team, where you guys kill me.
Well, no, you would be part of the team, and their goal is we would just keep you alive the whole time.
That would be the goal. Oh my gosh, we should play that. That's the goal. That would be the hardest game to play.
We love brand new people that have never played before.
Yeah, first-time players are always welcome.
Our goal is to keep them alive the whole game.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're in.
Let's do it.
All right.
Fantastic.
And you said your Twitch channel is Christy Jayne as well, right?
Christy Jaynes,
Do you have a normal schedule?
Do I have a normal schedule?
On Twitch?
No. Right now, no, I don't. I used to have a super normal schedule, but I've started doing a lot of stunts for movies and acting.
Oh.
So, yeah, I've had to kind of like fall off a little bit. That's why I've kind of pulled back from wrestling a little bit, because I'm doing a whole bunch of that. It pays a hell of a lot more than wrestling does, I'll tell you that. But it's fun. It's great. If it wasn't for wrestling, I wouldn't be able to do stunts. So, yeah,
amazing.
It's great. I love it.
Christy Jaynes, wonderful having you on. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here this evening. Red Sonja unlocked so many memories that I had completely forgotten about, and had a blast with the table reads. You are always welcome on the show at any time. If you have any ideas on scenes that you want to do, hit me up. We will make time. Ladies and gentlemen, Christy Jaynes,